Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing a recipe for southern style chicken and dumplings. To get started, here are my ingredients. I already went ahead and prepped my chicken, which I will show you guys how I did it in just a second. I also prepped my dumplings and I will show you guys that as well. I also have some chicken broth. I'll be using some butter, some coconut cream instead of heavy cream. I have my chopped onions. I have some celery sticks, some carrots. I'll be using some garlic, green peas. I have some flour. And for the seasonings, I have chicken bouillon, complete seasoning, mushroom seasoning, black pepper, and some paprika. So for the chicken, I have 3 leg quarters, which I went ahead and washed really well, and I removed the skin. I also will be using some better than bouillon. So here I have a pot with some water. I have about 8 cups of water here, and I will now add my better than bouillon. Better than bouillon is great for like when you want to make a broth, or you making these kinds of recipes like a soup, a stew, whatever. It's perfect for that. It adds great flavor. So we'll add that in, then we'll add our chicken. We will also add some thyme, rosemary, garlic, and onions. What I'm doing is creating a broth and also cooking the chicken at the same time. So we'll cook the chicken for about 35 to 40 minutes, and then I'll show you guys what's next. So after about 40 minutes, this is how the chicken is looking. What we'll do here, we'll remove the chicken and we will strip it, like, remove the flesh. You don't want to strip the flesh too fine. You want it in nice bite sizes. And then we will strain the broth. You want the broth nice and clean. So we'll strain it and we will move on to the next step of this recipe. Now let me show you guys how I made my dumplings. Here I have some all-purpose flour. I have salt. I'll be using sugar because I like my dumplings on the sweeter side. I'll be using some milk. I have some parsley, some baking powder, and some melted butter. What I did was basically just add all the dry ingredients to the flour. I mixed really well, and then I added my butter, mixed that in, and I add my milk. You want to form a nice soft dough. Once the dough is nice and soft, you will set it aside and just let it rest until we're ready for it later. You don't want to overwork your dough because you don't want the dumplings to be hard. You want to just mix it in until everything comes together, and once it comes together, you leave it alone. Now, if there's any ingredient here that you don't like, you can omit it. Like a lot of people like a savory dumpling. I like mine a bit on the sweeter side, so I like to add sugar. If you don't want the sugar in there, just leave it out. Cooking is common sense. It's all about preference. What you don't like, you leave it out. Super simple. Now let's put everything together. Here I have a pot with some oil. I will now add some butter. Allow the butter to melt. Once the butter melts, we'll add our onions, celery stalks, we'll add the carrots and our garlic. We'll give it a good mix and allow it to go for about 5 minutes because we want to soften up all the veggies and release those aromatics. Once our veggies are nicely softened, we'll add some more butter. We need enough, butter in there so that we can cook the flour. So once the butter melts, we'll add our flour in and we'll let the flour go for about 2 minutes so that, we can cook away some of that rawness from the flour. You don't want that raw taste in there. So you want to cook that flour a little, and then we'll start adding the rest of our ingredients. Next, we'll add our chicken broth in here. And I did forget to mention that the amount of flour you add depends on how you like your chicken and dumplings. Like if you like your sauce or your soup really thick, you can add more flour. But for me, I like mine right in the middle. I like a soupy kind of, medium thickness. I don't like it too thick. So I, add a moderate amount of flour and chicken broth. So once we've added our chicken broth in here, we will let this come up to a simmer before adding our cream. So once this thickens, we'll now go in with our coconut cream. Now usually heavy cream would be added here, but I wanted to make this my own by adding my own West Indian flair to the dish. So I added coconut cream instead. Now if you want to try the coconut cream, please be reminded that coconut milk is not to be added here. You either add coconut cream or heavy cream. After we've added our cream, we'll go in with our seasonings. Remember to season to your own liking, and you can use whatever seasonings you like in this dish. It doesn't have to be the ones that I'm using. Once we season this up, we will go in with our chicken and we'll allow this to simmer on low heat for about 10 minutes. After simmering for about 10 minutes, we'll now add our green peas, give that a mix. And I did use like a ice cream scoop, a small ice cream scoop to make my dumplings. Now you don't have to do this. I was just being extra, but I wanted them all in the same size, so I used this, but you don't have to do it. We will add our dumplings in here and we'll cook them for about 8 to 10 minutes. They don't need to cook a long time really. It all depends on the size of your dumplings too. If they're bigger, they may need more time. If they're small, they don't need much time. Now once your dumplings float up to the top like this, that's a good indication that your dumplings are done. That's how you know they're done. Once they float up, they're done. They don't take a long time to cook. And this is it. Now we will garnish with some fresh parsley. And that's it, guys. That's how I make my chicken and dumplings. It is so delicious. And I hope you guys give this recipe a try. And here you have it, guys, the most delicious chicken and dumplings. Now I did forget to mention that if you want more chicken in your chicken and dumplings, you can add as much as you like. I'm not too, into the chicken. I like the dumplings mostly. So this is how I make mine. I do hope you guys give the recipe a try. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for me. I will be leaving all my ingredients and measurements down in the description box. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good day and enjoy.